Hey everyone, Jedi64 and welcome back to another video. And today in this video I'm going to be talking about Marvel's Multiverse Saga. Now when it comes to Marvel, I'm not like a super fan. When it comes to the Spider-Verse movies, I am a hardcore fan because those movies are fantastic. But when it comes to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like the MCU and all that stuff, I'm more of a casual fan. I'm not like a hardcore fan or anything. But as a casual fan, I have to say the way they've handled the whole multiverse saga, as they're calling it, has not been ideal. I think the way they have handled it has like not been good. Like I feel like there's been a lack of planning. Like I feel like the first like when they started it, like they did a good job. Like I feel like they were off to a good start, but then like along the way it just kind of derailed. I think they've had some good projects like Loki, like Spider Man, No Way Home, like Wakanda Forever, those kinds of movies. But overall, I think it's just kind of fallen apart a little as time has gone on. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how they should have done it and basically rewriting the multiverse saga. For fun, you know how it is. So, anyway, without further ado, let's get started, baby. Alright, so let's begin. So, for phase one, we would start out with Loki, only instead of it being like a series, like season one would be turned into a movie. Basically, this would be the movie that basically kickstarts the whole multiverse saga, basically. Because I really do like the Loki series, it is pretty good in my opinion. So basically, the same plot from season one just turned into a movie. Then, for the next movie in phase one, we would have Captain America Brave New World, because the show, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like that show was just not good in the slightest. It was boring, it was dull, it just was not that enjoyable. So basically, this is going to be the new movie. Like I don't know what the plot is for the new movie, but basically the plot would be just kind of whatever fits into like this rewrite, basically. Anyway, so next we got Spider-Man: Far From Home, which apparently is in the Infinity Saga for some reason. Because I always thought Endgame was the perfect ending for the Infinity Saga, but for some reason they made another movie right after that, so we would just move this into the Multiverse Saga. Anyway, next we would have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've never actually seen this movie, but I hear it's really good, so yeah. So next up we would have Moon Knight, which I have to say, Moon Knight as a series was not very good. Mainly, like, it got canceled. Like, the whole series was canceled. Like, Thanos snapped out of existence. Like, we saw his character in What If Season 3, but other than that, like, I don't think we're going to see any more of Moon Knight for a while. Which is a shame, because, like, they had something going. They could have done something unique with his character. So, in this rewrite, we're going to basically take the show, turn it into a movie, basically rewrite some stuff. Like, get rid of the whole, like, two souls in one body plot line. Get rid of that. It's just one dude who's, like, an archaeology guy who like is like, studying pyramids and stuff accidentally gains superpowers and unleashes a curse upon Earth or something. Has to save the world, that kind of stuff. So anyway, next up we have Miss Marvel, which I have to say, Miss Marvel was a really good show in my opinion. I thought it was fun, like I really enjoyed it. I binged watched it a while back and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a fun, cute show, and I really do enjoy it. So it basically is going to stay the same, only instead of be a movie instead of a show. Because I really do feel like when it comes to Marvel and stuff, they just need to just stick with the shows, or no, the movies, not shows. Yeah, no, they need to just stick with the movies because I feel like the shows just do not do good. Anyway, so after that, we would have Hawkeye as a movie. Introduce that one girl Hawkeye character. I do not remember her name. That's how unrememberable that one series was. Then we got Black Panther 2. Basically stays the exact same. That movie's perfect. Then we would have Ironheart, because in the movie they set up Riri Williams. Her name is hard to pronounce. Anyway, I don't know what this would be about, but basically I think she would create her own arc reactor, which I think would probably get her in trouble with the government, so she has to run and stop a supervillain or something. Like, oh, maybe bring back Hank Pym from like the second Iron Man movie. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, now we get to the juicy stuff. Ant-Man Quantumania, like the third Ant-Man movie, was in my opinion mediocre. That's the best way to describe it. It was just fine. It could have been way better in my opinion. So basically, like this is I have a lot to say about this movie, so let's get started. So basically, for the rewrite for this movie is one, I would want Scott's friends to be in the movie. You know the guys that I'm talking about. Like I wish they were in the movie. There was really no reason for them not to be in the movie. So they would be worked into the story somehow, and basically I would want them to like actually keep their helmets on because like I don't know if you noticed this, but in the movie they just are constantly removing their helmets. Like you go like they put on a helmet, they immediately take it off. They put on a helmet, they immediately take it off. It's like so jarring and so annoying. Like even Kang does it, who's like the best character in the movie. And for this rewrite, I would want him like I would want his reveal to come later in the film, like for them not to really spoil it in the trailers, like because he's in my opinion the best part of the movie. He's like really cool and menacing, like it's really sweet. So anyway, he would have more of a major role in the plot. Like we would see him actually kill more people. He'd be way more powerful. Like he nearly kills Cassie or something like that. We would remove the whole Modoc plot line. That was weird. I don't know why that was in the film. Anyway, for the final fight between him and Scott, because in the film, like Scott and his family begin to head back to Earth, only for Kang to attack Scott, being like, I'm getting out of here," because he's been imprisoned in the quantum realm. So in the trailers, they were hyping up Ant Man's death. So we're actually going to go through with that in this version of the script. Like in this version of the script, he goes through one final showdown with Kang, and then Kang kills him brutally, and then escapes back to Earth, and then vows to destroy Earth 616, aka the MCU. So that is where this movie ends, and it then sets up the Young Avengers movie. Basically, this would be the big finale of Phase 1, because, like, it's very shocking how, like, we don't have, like, another Avengers movie out by now. So basically, we would have all, like, the Young Avengers, like Ironheart, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, basically all of them kind of coming together in this movie to defeat, like, this version of Kang. They would defeat him, save the world, and then the post-credit scene would just be, like, them hyping up the Kang Dynasty and all that stuff. So anyway, Phase 2, we would get Spider-Man No Way Home. That movie's perfect, stays the exact same. We would get Loki Part 2, which is basically just Season 2, just in a movie. And then after that, we would get the Fantastic Four introduced into the MCU. However, I would want them to be in like a separate universe, to just keep the theme of the multiverse going. The main villain of the movie would be Doctor Doom, who would not be played by the actor who plays Iron Man. I do not know why they're bringing him back in the form of Doctor Doom. Like, I'll get more into that in a little bit, because, like, I don't understand. It's like, if you're gonna bring back an evil Iron Man, just do Superior Iron Man. Like, it would be, makes so much more sense, and, like, everything. It's like, the fact that they've just scrapped the whole Kang plot line is just so dumb. Like, just recast the actor. Like, it's not that big a deal. Because they were cooking, they had something going, but then they were just like, you know what, no, we're just not going to do that anymore. And in my opinion, it is just absolutely ruined, like, the whole MCU, because they scrapped that plot line. Because if they stuck with it, it probably would have been really good. So anyway, after the Fantastic Four movie, we would get Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That movie honestly sucks in my opinion. So this movie would just be like Strange Supreme, like the evil Doctor Strange from the What If series, basically tries to steal the life force from like Doctor Strange's universe, and he has to defeat him. So that would be basically that movie. Like Doctor Strange 2 would be way better than the original movie we got. Next, we would get the Marvels. Like, the Marvels, in my opinion, also wasn't very good. There was a lot of funny moments. I felt like the main cast had a lot of chemistry. But all in all, I felt like it could have been a lot better. And it would actually set up Secret Invasion. Because, I feel like with every, like, phase, there needs to be an Avengers movie. to tie everything up with a little bow. Next, we would get the X-Men, who would again be in a separate universe to keep the multiverse theme going. Then after that, we would get Deadpool and Wolverine, which I have not seen that movie because I genuinely try to stay away from rated R movies, but I hear it's really good, so we're going to keep it in the rewrite. Next, we got Spider-Man 4. In this movie, the main villain would be Kraven the Hunter, and I would want this movie to introduce Miles Morales into the MCU. Not the Spider-Verse one, just a new version of him, because he's my favorite version of Spider-Man. I think with the way like Tom Holland's Spider-Man is at, I think introducing Miles as kind of like a mentor to Peter to have him train would be really cool. I would also want Peter to get back together with MJ at the end of this movie. You know, kind of give Spider-Man a happy ending for now. Anyway, after that, we would get Daredevil, like the movie, not the series, because again, no series in this rewrite. Then after that, we would have Avengers Secret Invasion, where the Skrulls are trying to take over Earth, and like we get like the big like reveal of like all like the oh my god what like Avengers die. Like I don't know who would die in this movie. Probably Hawkeye I imagine or something. I don't know. Anyway, they defeat the Skrulls. The day is saved, and like basically that would be the like Avengers movie for Phase 2. Next we got Phase 3, and for Phase 3 we would do What If in live action. It basically would be season 1 in live action but as a movie. Introduce like the What If characters, like the variants into like the MCU basically. I think that'd be really cool. Have like Infinity Ultron be the main bad guy. I feel like that'd be really cool. Next, we have the Eternals. I have never seen the Eternals. Never have, never will. Basically, we would turn this into a series. I know I'm throwing a plot twist here, but basically, we're going to turn it into a series because then we're actually going to be able to explore all the characters more properly. It'll stay probably the same I think. Only it'll set up Galactus as the main like Avengers threat in the next movie. Speaking of, the next movie is actually another Avengers movie, Earth Eater, where the Avengers go up against Galactus, who basically is like a celestial trying to eat the Earth or something. I know, Marvel is silly. I know. Anyway, I would want a lot of Avengers to die in this movie. Have this one be kind of like a tragedy, like Hawkeye, Bucky, all of the Eternals, Scarlet Witch, the Hulk. You know, like have it be like a really dark Avengers movie, which I think would be really cool. Next we would have The Watcher. It would basically be What If, like the sequel to What If, the movie, but it would be season 2 and 3, the good parts of those seasons merged into a movie. And we would basically get the origin story of the Watcher cuz we got a little bit of that in season 3, but I feel like they should have explored it more. Anyway, and then next up we have Spider-Man 5. So in this movie, this is where things would start to like hype up because basically Spider-Man has become the new Tony Stark. He's like the main character of the MCU now. And basically in this film, Peter and Miles would investigate like new Stark tech from another reality invading New York or something like that. And basically the main villain of this movie would be Iron Man Supreme, like Superior Iron Man, who is basically an evil version of Tony Stark from another reality. However, we will get more into this later on. The movie would end with them defeating him, but he escapes into another reality. So he'll be back later on as another threat later on. And the post credit scene would be the multiverse begins to collapse, but we'll get into that here in a minute. The next movie on the list would be The First Kang. This would basically be kind of like the origin story of the Kang dynasty, as we would see like a good guy Kang basically be the first Kang to like make contact with the other Kangs in the multiverse. It would be really cool to see like how they formed that, like how He Who Remains came to be, and like it would basically set up the next movie. So the next movie would be Avengers Kang Dynasty, and that would be the movie where like the multiverse begins to collapse. because I just feel like all of like the Kang dynasty had so much potential, but like as you know, like the whole Kang plotline was scrapped for some stupid reason. Sorry, I'm like sick. I'm like still recovering from a flu, and so if I sound a little off, that's why. So annoying. Anyway, so basically, like the Kang dynasty would begin to try to wipe out all of the Avengers from every reality. But to do that, they have to destroy the TVA and basically like they just have to destroy the multiverse basically. So anyway, back to the story. And now on to phase 4. This would be the final phase of the Multiverse Saga, and basically the first film would be Superior Iron Man. Basically this film would be like Superior Iron Man's origins. Basically they would recreate the first movie, but basically a Kang variant is trying to like surpass the other ones and basically tries to like turn Iron Man evil to use as a weapon. However, that backfires, so Tony ends up turning evil in this version of the timeline. He kills Kang, takes his tech, and then becomes Superior Iron Man, taking over his universe. And then basically, he would basically try to like take over the multiverse or something. Like, I'm not entirely sure how he would do that. So anyway, the next movie would be called TVA Final Countdown. This movie would be, I would want it to feel like Interstellar, but if Interstellar had a bad ending, where it's like super universal, it's intense, it's wild, like, and like imagine Interstellar, but instead of a happy ending where everything works out, it's like the multiverse begins to collapse. Like, basically, Loki would die because he's holding the multiverse together at the end of Loki season 2. That's why the multiverse begins to collapse. And the TVA gets destroyed, so there's no one protecting the multiverse now. The the next like this is where things would get crazy. Is like I would want there to be four Avengers movies here. The first one would be Avengers Battle World, where like the multiverse begins to collapse. So Doctor Strange teleports them to like another reality where called Battle World, where like they have to defeat Kang. Like Spider Man goes up against like Superior Iron Man. Like I feel like that'd be really cool to see. And then we have Avengers Doomsday, where the multiverse gets dangerously close to collapsing. They try to stop it from happening, but they fail. So then they have their last stand, and they also fail. So then, like, it's like now or never. And then the final movie would be Avengers Rebirth, where, like, basically the Watcher, Doctor Strange, would basically use all their power to, like, merge every universe into one universe, basically. Apparently, that was in the original script, basically rebooting the MCU. So I'm going to keep that in the script. So now that is basically what happens. Like they save the day, they save the multiverse, the Kang Dynasty gets destroyed, and they rebuild the multiverse into just one universe. Where the X-Men, like Fantastic Four, like Miles, like they're all like they already are in one universe. Like the timeline is completely rewritten. So yeah, that is basically how I think they should have gone about like doing this multiverse saga. Because like if they had like one simple plan, then it would have worked out. But instead, they just kind of did whatever they wanted, and it just kind of fell apart. And it sucks because they could still save it if they just recast the actor who plays Kang. They could just go back to their original plan. But because they refused to for some reason, the whole MCU is just falling apart. And as a casual fan, it's like, it's the main reason why I'm not like a hardcore fan. Because like, if they were just making good content, I'd probably get really into it. Because like, when I was watching the Infinity Saga for the first time, I got into it because like it was good. It was like exciting. But like with the Multiverse Saga, it's just not good anymore. So it's like, as a casual fan, it's just like, I'm not really there to watch it anymore. So my message to Marvel is get your act together. Like, come on, people. Anyway, with that said, may the force be with you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.